Hey everyone, Dr. Weird28 here. In today's Tarkov video, I wanted to go over how to use your Scav in Tarkov. Now, in Escape from Tarkov, we have two ways you can play the game. You have your PMC, or your main character that you're progressively leveling throughout the wipe, and then you have your Scav. Your Scav is a randomized character where you get a predetermined set of gear that you then can take into a raid. As you can see here, we have some armor, a backpack, rig, and an STM. So you can see, as we spawn in as a Scav, you get a random set of equipment. Sometimes you can spawn in with quest items, stims, keys, high-tier loot that can be useful for either selling or using for your hideout, or potentially a quest. So one of the uses that I like to use a Scav for is obviously gathering loot throughout the map. You can use the loot that you find either for just selling to make some money. You can use it to try and save items for building up your hideout. You can use it for barters for different gear. You can use it for just selling on the flea market for people that are really looking for high-tier items that they need for their own use. Now, throughout the map, you'll find different places have different types of gear depending on what map you're running and what areas of the map you're looking at. One thing I've been doing lately is running a lot of Scavs on Streets of Tarkov, as it is a map that I do not know terribly well, but I am trying to learn it better. And what better way to learn it than to take a random set of gear like we get with our Scav and just look around on the map. Now, if you do know certain areas of the map really well, like where there's a lot of PvP or PvE, typically, you can go there and potentially look for dead PMCs, maybe on certain maps, dead rogues, dead raiders, and try and look for the gear that they might be carrying. A lot of times they can have some pretty well kitted out weapons and some armor that you can either, again, take out to sell yourself, or potentially you could use for your PMC. Now, some people, when they're doing their Scav, they like to just have fun and meme and see how interactions with other players are. Some people actually look for some PvP, so they will specifically load in as a Scav to go hunting PMCs. And some people will actually look at hunting Scavs. Now, if you were to kill a normal Scav, whether it be AI or another player Scav that hasn't done anything to aggravate the other normal Scavs, then you're actually going to develop what's called bad Scav karma, or bad Scav rep. And other Scavs are going to become aggroed on you and potentially try to kill you. We'll go over in a separate video the benefits of good Scav karma and bad Scav karma. But that actually is one of the reasons to run a Scav, is by running a Scav, you actually can raise your Scav karma. Now, some people also will use their Scav to test guns. If you don't have your shooting range inside of your hideout yet, you can look at either a gun that you find inside of your Scav raid, or take the gun that you spawned with as a Scav and test that out. So, for example, I want to see just what the recoil on this looks like. Not bad. Obviously, it would change depending on what sort of other gear you have on it. Whether it's a foregrip, different rear grip, things like that. Now, just like your PMC, your Scav does have stats. So you can see my Scav is a level 10 right now. Not exactly any skill levels specifically high, but it will develop more and more depending on how you play. Now, you really don't want to use your Scav to shoot other Scavs, in my opinion. If you are hurting your Scav karma by being a quote-unquote bad Scav, then you potentially will, one, get a longer Scav cooldown timer, but also other Scavs may naturally want to kill you right away. For example, my Scav karma is about a 1 right now. So I can go into a Scav raid, and other Scavs will typically leave me alone, other than the occasional bad player Scav that's out there. If I had a -5 Scav rep, then I might load into raid, and the Scavs start shooting me as soon as they see me. Plus, it might take an hour to actually get back into Scav raids again. I believe last wipe, where I had level 3 intel and max Scav karma, my Scav timer was only like 7 or 8 minutes. So I was getting back into Scavs if I wanted to as fast as possible. The benefit of that is you can get in there more often, you can gather more loot, make more money, potentially with low risk. Another benefit of good Scav karma is that if it's high enough, there's a chance the bosses on the map will leave you alone, and they can almost protect you or kill other players or player Scavs for you so that you can get their gear. As you can see, for exfilling as a Scav, you get a boost here of a 0.01 for completing the Scav, so that'll help the Scav karma. There are other ways as well that you can affect it that we'll go over in a separate video. But at the very least, running your Scavs occasionally will continue to progress your Scav karma. Now, there are some downsides to running a Scav as a whole. But overall, I think the benefits are you get almost a free kit, a random kit. Not necessarily the best gear typically, but it's at least a starting point so that maybe you can work your way up to better kits. You can use the kit to gather loot, that loot that you can use to save for quests, barter for certain items, craft things, sell, use as gear, or finding gear in the raid. But as a whole, I think a lot of people use their Scav to make money. You can also use your Scav to hunt PMCs or Scavs, good or bad, depending on how you want to play the game. Learn a map, test guns, improve your Scav karma, potentially spawn with quest items, high tier loot, maybe some of the keys that you're looking for a certain task. Meme, but again, I can't emphasize enough, a lot of people, in order to be consistent with making good money, they'll rotate Scavs in occasionally just to focus on, let me get some gear to then sell and make a profit. That's it for today's video, guys. We'll be back next week with another video on improving your Scav karma, and then also a video coming up on how to use your PMC primarily. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and follow on Twitch for live streams. Until next time, keep it weird.